can't stop fussing. In the last half hour, I've rearranged my desk at least 6 times, sliding pens, notebooks, and papers around, wanting them to be perfect. I honestly haven't been this on edge in ages. In just a few minutes, I'll be meeting with my first student for counseling. Jack's the name on their file, but I know from personal experience that they'll likely go by another name. I'm nervous because I know what I'm desperate to tell them. I remember being that age, the confusion, the ache of feeling invisible, the endless struggle to understand myself. If I can be even a fraction of the support my mother was for me, then I'm doing something right. I pace around my office, unable to settle. I change the orientation of the furniture. I open the blinds to let the afternoon sun in. I spray the room with a soft rosemary scent. I draw the line at lighting a candle, but the suspense is killing me. I'm not even sure that Jack will turn up. I've had a brief conversation with their mother, and she strikes me as the warm, supportive type. However, I can tell she's worried about her child. That much is obvious. I suppose there isn't really an instruction manual when your child comes out as trans. And it's coming at a bad time. There's been talk of bullying at the school lately, and I have a feeling Jack has been caught in the middle of it. The last thing I want is for them to face more hardship. A sudden knock at my office door makes my heart skip a beat. I take a measured breath, smoothing my long, flowing dress and tucking a stray strand of hair behind my ear, keeping my posture poised. What's funny is that my younger self would scoff at what I'm wearing right now. I used to wear things much tighter, shorter, and far less practical, yet here I am, looking like a children's TV presenter. I should probably delete all those pictures of myself in such outfits before Oscar sees them, although knowing him, he'd probably use them for his own personal use. Perv. I chuckled to myself with a loving smile. Letting out another steadying breath, I slowly open the door. As I do, Jack's standing against the opposite wall, his shoulders hunched, his gaze at the floor. His cheeks are flushed a deep, rosy red. "Jack?" I say softly. He doesn't say a word. Instead, he brushes his hair from his eyes, walks towards me, and rudely pushes past into my office. I step aside, watching as he drops his school bag onto the floor with a thud and slumps into the chair opposite my desk. "How was your day?" I ask, gently closing the door. "Fine." Stepping towards a small counter in my office, I begin to pour myself some water. "Would you like some water, Jack?" "No." I take a quiet moment as I pour myself a glass. "Do your best, Pauline," I mutter to myself. I slide into the chair behind my desk and glance down at his school record. My eyes lock on the name, Jack, and I can't seem to look away. "So," I say, taking a confident sip of water, "my name is Paulene, and I'm a counselor here at the school." I set my glass down and lean forward. "Do you know why you've been asked to see me?" As I wait for Jack to answer, I can't help but form a first impression of him. He's small for his age, and quite delicate looking for a boy. And yet, something is striking about him, like a quiet confidence sitting just below the surface. It's obvious from his lush-looking hair that he takes care of his appearance. However, the silence goes on a little too long as I wait for his response. "Do the girls in your class ask what shampoo you use?" I ask, trying to kickstart the conversation. Jack looks up at me, yet only for a moment. "They do, don't they?" He shifts in his seat, and I can see a smile tugging at his lips. "I'm not surprised," I continue. "Look at how glossy your hair is. I wish I had beautiful locks like yours. Though," I sigh, and touch my hair, knowing that most of it is fake. "My afro hair is very different." "Thanks," he replies bashfully, touching his hair. "I just use whatever Mom's using." "I see," I say with a smile. "And I assume your mother doesn't mind?" Do you borrow her stuff often? Instantly, his cheeks flush, and I know exactly what he's thinking. It's the same reaction I would have had at his age. From the conversation I've already had with his mother, it sounds like she doesn't really know to what extent Jack might be borrowing. I guess she's okay with it, Jack replies as he begins to fiddle with his shirt. She seems a very caring woman, the sort of mom who only wants the best for her child. Do you think that's the reason why she suggested you to come see me? There's an awkward silence for a moment, which is tempting for me to fill with yet another probing question. But I want Jack to feel like it's his decision to talk. I take another sip of water and hold my tongue. I know for a fact that sharing this sort of thing is very difficult. If my mom hadn't caught me wearing her clothes that day, maybe my life would be completely different. Jack finally breaks the silence. She thinks I'm confused about my gender identity. I think she's asked me to come here, hoping you might fix me. I take a steadying breath. And what is your gender identity? Jack falls silent, his shoulders slumping as if he's shrinking into the chair. This is a safe place, I say to reassure him. Whatever it is you want to say, please understand I'm here to help you. Jack hesitates, his hands fidgeting in his lap. He looks down at the floor as if gathering the courage to speak. After what feels like an eternity, he lifts his eyes to meet mine, his voice still shaky. I want to be a girl. I hold back my initial reaction of excitement and try to remain professional. Thank you for telling me, I say softly, my voice steady but full of meaning. I meet Jack's eyes for the first time, and I can almost see the weight of that deep secret he's been hiding. It's something I remember vividly when I finally admitted my truth to another. Your file says your name is Jack, but is there a name you'd prefer? Jacky, he replies with a soft smile. And your pronouns? She, her. Ah, very good. I glance at her hair again and chuckle. Now the pretty hair makes sense. Jacky touches her hair and gives me a wry smile. She's clearly still uncomfortable, but it gives me the opening to share my story. I return a wide smile and reach across my desk. Sitting at one end of my desk, facing me, is a photo of my mother and me from when I'd just come out. It was taken in her office back then. I like to keep it where I can see it, a reminder to stay strong and be proud of how far I've come. Even my spotty complexion doesn't stop me from leaving it out in the open. Can I show you this? I ask Jacky, holding the picture frame out to her. She looks up with a bemused expression. Taking hold of the photo, she looks at it for just a second before sliding it onto my desk. That's me in the photo, I say, gushing with pride. Can you tell? Jacky gives me a skeptical look as she glances at the photo, then back at me. I can tell she's trying to make sense of it. She picks the photo up again and brings it closer to her eyes. Her eyes widen, and before I can react, she spins the photo around to show me, with her finger pointing right at me in the picture. Her voice crackles with excitement. Miss, Jacky grins, her face lighting up. Is this really you? Yes. Are you transgender? I am. Wait, seriously? Jacky leans forward in her seat, with excitement before placing my photo back on my desk. She then furrows her brow and looks me deep in the eyes. You don't have to glare at me like that, I say, with a nervous laugh, tucking a stray strand of hair behind my ear. And the fact you don't believe me, young lady, actually makes me feel pretty good about my transformation. How long? Jacky asks abruptly. Reaching across my desk to stand up the photo, I look at the picture of the younger me just finding her feet. Feels like such a long time. I reply wistfully. My mom caught me wearing her clothes. I idolized her, you see? And all I ever wanted was to be strong like her. Tears prick at my eyes as I remember my mother's unwavering support, but the warmth fades when I recall our last conversation. The hesitation in her voice and the unspoken words linger. It wasn't a fight, but the awkward weight in my chest has not left me. A single tear dribbles from my eye, and I quickly wipe it away to stay professional. As I compose myself, I notice Jacky empathizing with me. Her expression is gentle, and her smile sincere. Let's just say, I clear my throat and adjust my posture. I'm pre-op. I then wave away the conversation about me. Anyways, this session isn't about me. It's about you, Jacky, and your journey. Well, actually, miss... Jacky speaks like she's got the best idea ever. Pauline? I correct. Please, call me Pauline. Jacky nods and smiles. Well, maybe you can help me, Pauline. I want to start coming to school in the girl's uniform. I've had a taste of it already, and now it's all I can think about. Okay. I nod, jotting down a quick note as Jacky watches me with an innocent yet radiant smile. That's a big step, young lady. And I won't sugarcoat it. Kids can be cruel. Oh, I know, Jacky says with a knowing smirk. But then, as if remembering something, her expression shifts. I have this friend. Her voice trails off, drifting into the distance. I wait, giving her space, but after a brief silence, she waves a dismissive hand. Yeah, never mind. I know it won't be easy, but I really want this. I know I'd be happier. I make a quick note in my book, circling the mention of a friend with a deliberate emphasis. I've only been briefly informed about a student named Nathan and their home situation. I hope I get the chance to speak with them, though I know there is due process to follow. I refocus and smile at Jacky, pleased with our progress. But in the back of my mind, the headmaster's cautious words echo. Our recent conversation left my hands tied. He's desperate not to rock the boat, as he so spinelessly put it. The man is a coward, but unfortunately, he's also my boss. So... Jacky almost bounces in her seat with excitement. Are you going to help me with this? Maybe talk to my mother and recommend that I start presenting how I feel? If Jacky were my daughter, I'd be all over this, offering every bit of support I could. But she isn't my child, and I have to tread carefully. I take a slow, steady breath, choosing my words with care. With each passing second of silence, I can see the light in Jacky's eyes dimming, her shoulders sinking ever so slightly. She's bracing for disappointment. Well, I say, forcing a smile. I think that's certainly something we can work towards, Jacky. I'm sure your mother would like to be part of that decision. Jacky's face scrunches tight. That's crap, Jacky huffs, folding her arms and closing herself off. It's my decision, and mine alone. My mom has nothing to do with my gender. Jacky exhales sharply. Her fingers frantically fidget with the hem of her sleeve in frustration. I can tell she's waiting for me to say something, anything, that proves I'm really on her side. I lean forward slightly, my voice gentle but firm. I know this isn't what you want to hear right now, Jacky, and I know it feels unfair, like you have to jump through hoops just to be yourself. I pause, giving her a moment to process. My job is to protect your well-being at the school, and we have to follow the process. What? Are you joking? Jacky snaps, staring daggers in my direction, only to quickly look away. A trans woman would never say such a thing. Clearly, you're just another robot. Jacky, I complain with a frown at her outburst. I'm not a robot. I am transgender, And I do understand you, but forget it! Jacky barks, interrupting me before I can finish. Jacky's eyes blaze with hurt and frustration. She springs to her feet, sending her chair clattering to the floor. For a brief moment, I catch a flicker of something else. Betrayal. It is raw and unmistakable, cutting through me like a knife. Jacky shakes her head, her hands clenched into fists at her sides. "You're just like everyone else," she spits. "You act like you care, but when it comes down to it, you just can't accept that I know what's good for me." I feel my throat tighten. "Jacky, that's not..." I stand up from my desk. "Please, sit down and let's talk." She rolls her eyes and shakes her head. "About what?" she says sarcastically. "You're just as uptight as everyone else. I just want to be myself. That's not a crime, so why are you acting like this?" "Please." I swiftly step around my desk and pick up the chair from the floor. As I look back, hoping I can persuade Jacky to stay, the door is wide open, and she's gone. Shit. I sigh, watching the empty doorway. I slump back in my chair as tears well up in my eyes. I would have hated that response if it were me. I sink deeper into my chair, the questioning echoing in my mind. What would my mother have done? At that moment, my phone rings. It's Oscar. I stare at the screen, bracing myself. I take a deep breath, steady myself, and answer. "Hey, sweetheart," I say, being careful with my tone. Oscar's voice floats through the receiver, but it barely registers. I'm lost in my own doubts. How am I supposed to be enough for him? How can I offer him the life and family that I know he so desperately wants? I force myself to listen, to be present, but a part of me wonders if that's enough. If I can't even help Jacky when I have so much experience with what she's going through, how am I supposed to be a good wife to a man who deserves so much more than I can offer? I lower my head. If we adopt a child, will I be the mother they deserve? Today's evidence would suggest otherwise. Thank you so very much for watching and making it all the way to the very end. If you've enjoyed the content, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where members get early access to all our content